Hey everyone, Xenos here, and that thing is way too damn tight. Anyways, let's start that again. Hey everyone, Xenos here. I'm sorry, but that was just absurd to take off. But anyways, Happy New Year to all of you. So, and I hope you all had happy holidays. Really wish I'd uploaded some more, but hey, the last episode of Undertale was fine. I'll put this up as soon as I'm done editing, though. But anyways, I was recently talking with one of my friends from D&D, whose character we refer to as Brina the Giant Slayer, and whom I wrote a ballad for. She's a gnome monk with a space speed of 40 feet, and has dealt significant blows in almost every major battle we've been in. Of course, Amanda, I will be taking credit for 3 of those tools. Anyways, I'm talking with her, and I brought up the boss I brought up the boss that I brought up in episode 7 on. I should have written that better. Anyways, she had actually seen my last answering questions video, so Amanda, this one's for you. She asked me who my favorite video game bosses were. So, here we go. First off, I'll only be counting bosses you actually fight. No lackey battles. So that automatically rules out Blue, Lance, Steven, or Wallace, every champion, and every gym leader, and every legendary Pokemon from Pokemon. So, sorry guys. Also, only 1 entry per franchise is allowed, like last time. However, as a change, Bloodborne and Demon Souls will be counted separately from the Dark Souls trilogy. And before, these are just my opinions. Don't hold them too badly against me. So, ow! I'm sorry, my wrist has been bothering me since I finished my thesis. Well, the first draft. So, anyways, let's begin. Number 10, Alduin, the World Eater from Skyrim. Calling himself the firstborn of Akatosh, Alduin is one of the most memorable bosses I have ever fought, especially when he appears almost immediately in-game. I mean, you guys remember that, right? And with a name literally meaning destroy, devour, master, Alduin, you expect a badass monster. And I know I haven't shown you his final battle yet, but Alduin is bloody incredible. I get chills thinking of the end of the World Eater, and he's designed beautifully. Not a lot of dragon bosses are done right from my experience, but Alduin is well worth the 100 hours you put into getting to Sovngarde. Spoilers. But anyways, number 9, the Archdemon from Dragon Age Origins. I spent close to 75 hours in the main campaign of Dragon Age Origins. I loved every minute of being in Thedas, and I knew next to nothing about it to start with. Okay, except for the spiders, because screw spiders. But this dragon, the Archdemon, was terrifying. I first glimpsed it in-game, not counting the nightmare you saw when I went into the Deep Roads, because I went there first, thinking the world was scaled. Nope! I was anticipating fighting it for the rest of the game, and I was not disappointed. If it wasn't for Stan's Kunai prayer for the dying, I probably would have rage quit a lot. But this boss was done really well and fit perfectly into this dark fantasy. Number 8, Princess Ada the Striga from The Witcher. I already mentioned that the opening to The Witcher is one of my favorites, but there aren't that many boss class monsters in the game. Off the top of my head, there's the Tutorial Frightener, Azar Javed, Ada, I think the Professor, possibly the Werewolf, that Kikimor Queen. However, the only one that's really memorable for me is Ada, mostly because she is a real split path. The Kikimor Queen is a pain because she's as much a gimmick boss as the Dragon God from Demon Souls. Azar Javed is boring, he's just a human boss. And the Werewolf is kind of optional, you can actually spare him, I believe. Ada, however, is kind of forgettable boss. Originally I had Sovereign-controlled Saren in this spot. He's not on this list, don't worry. Number 7. This son of a bitch takes 2 spots. I don't mean he's both in 7 and 6, I mean that he gets 2 incarnations in the same spot. This boss is the King of Thieves, Ganondorf, from Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess. The Wind Waker version was okay, but lacked any sort of tension build, whereas you had staging in these games. Ocarina of Time puts you into a dead man's volley gate before sending you down a collapsing tower. After that, you have to deal with Ganon, the monstrous form granted to the King of Thieves by sorry, I got a little excited, by the Power Triforce. In Twilight Princess, you first need to beat him out of Zelda's body, then deal with the Dark Beast form, before engaging in a mounted battle similar to what you did with the Bubbling, was it the Bubbling King? I forget, but whatever the giant bull riding guy is, similar to him, and then a sword duel to the death. Each battle built upon itself with tension and testing your skills to the maximum, and I bloody love them. And now number 6.
Dear, oh dear, what was it? The blood, the hunt, or the horrible dream? Oh, it doesn't matter. It always comes down to the hunter's helper to clean up after these sorts of messes. Tonight, German joins the hunt.
Sadly, I've never played Bloodborne. The Wait, where was I? Sorry, anyway, sorry, I lost my spot. But the story behind one of the final bosses, Gehrman the First Hunter, is tragic and incredible. In addition to using one of my favorite styles of weapons, a scythe. I don't know why I love scythes so much, but anyways, it always feels like a clash of master and apprentice, something I always enjoy in a story. I don't know why. However, we don't know the full story behind him. I mean, that's the problem. That's the problem with some Dark Souls and Souls games and Bloodborne. I mean, Soulsborne, that sort of thing. Anyways, is that they're minimalistic. I mean, why did he make a deal with the moon's presence? Why does he continue to run the hunter's dream? And why did he create the doll in the image of Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower? I'll leave you with that. Give you something to imagine. Not Vadi Vidya, after all. Number 5. This is a shared spot, unsurprisingly, because if you take a look at it later. The 5th best bosses on my top 10 list are all incredible monsters and well designed from one of my favorite indie games ever. Not to mention one of the only ones I've played. Number 5 goes to King Asgore, Azrael Dreamer, and Sans from Undertale. The hell was that? I think something like that happened with, never mind. Anyways, Asgore was one of the saddest bosses I've ever gone against. Only one sadder, I think, would be Gwyn, Lord of Cinder, maybe. Well, at least that's not on this list. I didn't want to kill him, but I had to. I mean, you guys saw how much I didn't want to kill Asgore. Asgore really throws you into saving the world. You even feel sorry for him at the end. Oh, wait. Back up. You guys haven't seen that yet. Anyways, I'll get that out as soon as I can. I've been really busy, and I haven't gotten much sleep lately. But anyways, Asgore really throws you into saving the world. You even feel sorry for him at the end. And I wanted to sacrifice a shard of my soul to let him live on, even if that's even possible. And Sans, other than the fact that he's a bleeding badass, he's perhaps one of the hardest bosses you'll come across. Not that I plan on it. Never genocide. But number 4, I've mentioned this game a lot, and if I ever get around to playing it for you guys, you'll see why. Number 4 is Prince Ryoma from Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. I've faced plenty of named bosses already by this point in Fates, but this is one of the few times a game actually made me well up in the last few years, without it being the ending of the game. Ryoma is a badass in the opening cinematic when he challenges Xander on foot, but you don't realize the magnitude of his determination until he puts you in a one-on-one challenge. And if you beat him, he commits harakiri with his right Jinto. Maybe he could have been saved if it was just a blade, if Elise could get to him fast enough, but Raijinto also electrocuted him. I didn't want it to end like that, and it just... And his last words are, "I'm counting on you." He's counting on you to save Hoshido from Garon, and it just... this is... I had no idea that a strategy game could get you so attached to your enemies, and I give Fire Emblem major props for that. Okay, so number 3. This game has been a favorite of mine for years, but I can't just pick one boss. So instead, I give this position to every quest boss in the MMORPG RuneScape, except Elegy Nomad. That guy. He's the reason I lost my quest cape for longer than I should have. And before they released Slisuke's endgame, I only got it back for a week. So, good on you, Jagex. Every quest boss you've made for RuneScape, except that bastard Nomad, gets a spot on my list. For number 2, I'm going to need both hands, because number 2 is Luga Ghoul Lover. Excuse me. I know most of you will never have heard of him, and for good reason. Luga was one of the hardest bosses I've ever faced on my piece of laptop during sophomore year. Who was he? He wasn't just a war chief. He was the first Uruk to kill me in Middle-earth's Shadow of Mordor. And this bastard was difficult as to kill. I'm breaking out all my profanity on this guy because he deserves it. Not only did they throw spears dipped in poison, but I fought him at 10 frames per second maximum. And according to the admins on the Shadow of Mordor Facebook page, I added a new definition to dedication. Lonely college student with a crappy laptop who has nothing to do on a Saturday night, so he decides to slay both nemesis Ratanak and Luga. Ratanak was another Uruk chieftain that I had a problem with. I'm just gonna go off. Ratanak gets an honorable mention for the number 2 slot because he died 3 times before becoming a war chief. I mean, I killed him once, I killed him twice, I killed him a 3rd time, and he comes back for more. I mean, I eventually took him out as a war chief, and oh my God, Ratanak! Jeez, I thought that a human with determination was hard to kill, huh, Sans? Oh wait, that's right. I only yelled at him with a pun. But anyways, I stayed up until 4 in the morning trying to dodge and kill him before finally getting his bodyguards to rip his heart out. But oh, the satisfaction of a long-coming revenge! He even got me one of the achievements on Steam. A mighty Dune. Acquire a level 25 rune. Luga, heart to heart though. Although I hate you, and I'm glad you're Karagor fodder, I'm hoping we can meet again someday under better frame rates so I can personally kick your ass! Now, before I reveal my number 1 pick, I'd like to give a quick shout to some honorable mentions. First off goes to Malistaire Drake from the MMO Wizard 101. This was an epic battle, especially when your healer goes down. Yeah, I played as a 3rd just as my main character, but I felt really invested in my school after about level 3. But I digress. No other boss up to about halfway through Avalon came close in an epic scale to Malistaire. Especially with the Dragon Titan waking up in the background on Dragonspire. Next is, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Ijnik from Frog's Adventures Temple of the Frog. Excuse me. I don't know if anyone else remembers this Game Boy Advance game, as I had to look up who the Goblin King was. I don't even know if I still have the cartridge. Honestly though, I thought he was insanely difficult when I was about 7 or so, but Ijnik was probably my first real boss encounter. Following the Goblin King, we have another king, Mordredith, the false king from Lord of the Rings Online. This was an awesome encounter in one of my favorite fantasy worlds. Tolkien is what got me into fantasy in the first place. Actually, looking at it, it's nothing but kings on the way out of the honorable mentions. After Mordredith, we have Yugi and Merrick from Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards. The title of the franchise literally means Game King, and that refers to Yugi-Moto, but considering that in this game, monsters follow a set type advantage to disadvantage, I had a hard time trying to beat both Yugi and Merrick, because Yugi typically used, I think, fiends, whereas Merrick typically used dream monsters. You have to figure out which one was right for the, kind of like Pokemon, it added a new mechanic instead of just attack points. But once you figure out the typings they use, you can actually counter them without much difficulty, so there's that. Finally, our last honorable mention is the reigning King of the Koopas, Bowser. You can't play video games and not know Bowser. With how big Mario has become, Bowser should be recognizable. Finally, we come to number 1, which is shared between 2 bosses from one of the best games I've ever played. If you know these 2, it'll be understandable why they share a spot. You can't have one without the other, and I'll put a link to a video that illustrates why I love these 2 so much. The battles are great, and the music is incredible. Ow. And once you know the story behind them, they really pull at your heartstrings. That's why the number 1 best bosses spot goes to Knight Artorias the Abysswalker and Great Grey Wolf Sif from Dark Souls. So, those were my best boss picks of all time. Who are yours? Please feel free to share them in the comments below. As long as you don't say the Duke's dear Frazier, in which case I will feel compelled to reach to the screen and grab your ears. But anyways, that does it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to support me by clicking the like button. It very much helps. I decided to change that. It's probably not gonna catch on. I might just drop it into parallel at some point. But anyways, as always, hope to see you guys next time. Until then, live long and prosper.